Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to the love variant reading. This is a timeless reading, so whatever and whenever you are here, you may find that some of these messages may apply to your life. With that being said, these messages may hit more home in this channel if you're here as a listener as a Sagittarius in your sun, rising, and or Jupiter position. However, if you're here solely for your moon placement, these messages may not be what it is that you're seeking, which may be emotional redemption, and that could be found in my sister's channel, which is more Bastet's energy, and she can answer those questions or inquiries over there for you. So feel free to check out that channel to see any content already made available or for more content to come. With that being said, the description box below also offers various ways into getting in contact with me for any kind of tarot service you may be searching for, or any remote healing that you may be after, for I am a master healer and I look forward to making your acquaintance. Let's see, Sagittarius. Remember that always in a reading, past, present, and future energetical timelines could come forth within a reading. So just like that siren, things can become very hectic, and we don't really know in life when everything is meant for us, or if things are a distraction, or whether or not it is imperative for us to remember something to happen. It's very chaotic, and you are someone who is eager to really chase the meaning of many various reasons as to why something exists, and being able to handle it, doing that on your own. You don't really express your natural curiosity with a lot of people. So a lot of you succeeded into being masters of that natural ability of yours, which is alchemy, to understand the rhyme and reason of certain chemistry of one thing to another, and be able to understand why it either is a fatale of attraction, or if it's dynamic, or if it's healthy, or if it's something bad. Like, you have an instinct in that characteristic that is very beneficial to almost understanding a survival instinct before it is required. All right, so a lot of you dance very well with your intuition and don't move on certain validations until you feel aligned with your intuition. And in many more ways that a lot of other people don't do that. Your life might look a little different, but it's a proven security that you've developed on your own that ties you really close to ether, or whatever it is that you tie yourself close to in that reality of speech. So in the world that you've created for yourself, acclimatizing yourself with other people with differences it's not again not very difficult for you to do, because you like it. You like being a rebel in a way of interjecting or squeezing yourself when entering a room, or entering with more than one people, a social gathering, I'm seeing some kind. And being a loud personality is not something you shy away from doing, but it doesn't mean that you have not as much loud, if not louder, vulnerabilities that are not as easily detectable, because you have a personality that kind of overshadows that. So some people are maybe thrown off by the fact that you have certain influxes in your life that you don't know how to navigate just as well as any other thing in your life, and it throws them off the loop, because they usually see you as a very strong person. And being in a position of loss of power, or loss of words, or loss of speech, or loss of energy is difficult for certain individuals around you that love you on that high vibrational course to see you in. And they don't really know what to do, so they want to advocate for your well-being. But be careful in those situations, because advocacy for your well-being takes away how you can navigate your own well-being. All right, so that was an important message for someone, if not all. I'm seeing someone be a little bit bored if you're reading tarot. I highly suggest that you listen out to Sekhmet energy if you're not going to listen out to me as a personal reader, reading her energy and embodying it. I want you to meditate just like the Aries reading I just got out of on the pink magenta violet crown chakra essence, and I want you to navigate your own opinions for yourself and what you think you should be doing, because that what you should be doing means that if there's something, a narrative of telling you that you should be doing something, but you're going at that narrative and you're draining yourself, there's something within you in your auric field that needs a resurrection. All right, this could be tied to so many topics, ladies and gentlemen, in between and beyond. I'm going to list a couple and you're going to figure out what it is. It could be any or all or none, I don't know, but it could be you have deep traumatic sexual traumas. You can have actual menstrual traumas, actually having some, like if you're a lady, vaginal issues, transitional issues I'm hearing as well. I'm hearing gender identity crises. I'm hearing also the victim of abuse, human sex trafficking. I'm hearing a victim of domestic abuse. I'm hearing emotional abuse. I'm hearing slave labor. I'm hearing very deep, I mean, this is very, this is, I'm not here to offend, however, I'm here to trigger because the realities of the room need to be addressed. All right, so please seek yourself to get out of the room if you feel like this is too much and it isn't your message. It doesn't belong to you. And if it is, it needs addressing, because we need to resurrect the light within the reason of you experiencing that at all. It's going to even be an accident. All right, I'm seeing like a motor vehicle accident, something really tragic having happened to maybe you, or you being witness of it, that it has affected you. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this does not have anything to do with your current life right now either. I said this is a deep situation, so this could be having had a past life regression and realizing you remember something, a trauma from that life. Okay, something still needs to be emotionally addressed as to why you remember it. That's the key. So I ask to check out the description box below to see if you'd like to work with any of my energies, if that rings any sort of discernment bells. All right. Is a crime and the punishment itself that this should exist. A type of behavior, the type of blasphemous act from human to human. All right, Knight of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. All right, it's going to highlight a little bit that trauma that I saw speak and show up, ladies and gentlemen, all those in between and beyond, because it wants to be addressed. There is a high horse that you're galloping on, Sagittarius, that I said in the beginning of the reading, that makes you very strong, that makes you very able-bodied. All right, it makes you not a disability, it makes you very someone in tune of knowing what the fuck is going on. All right, and you are able to handle drama in the way that you are present in it, in the way that you negotiate with it, in the way that you try to understand every facet what is to be understood. Now, whether you yourself are the problem of the situation, that is also your own lesson, Sagittarius, because I see that some of you cause this trauma or this drama. All right, like I see, oh Lord. All right, Virgo energy, wow, Empress energy, and then the Star card. All right, so like I said, you guys have the ability. You are not disabled, Sagittarius. All right, you are not. You are very much able to exist in a time and space with others without being problematic. You are also able to cause problems where there are no problems. It's like a fucking ANA of lupus. It's like the antibodies, all right? You're chiseling away at a situation that doesn't need chiseled on, and you're causing inflammation on the drama itself. You need to be sit down and told, simmer down, Sagittarius, in more ways than one. But there are other aspects of yourself that when you take that innocence of vulnerability of knowing those qualities of self and you return to ether, ether tells you, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you here? Why do you need to think you need to repent your sins and your blasphemous behavior? You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You need to change your behavior. So the outcome of the consequences that you think are wrong aren't as heavy. That is to walk in the discipline of the maturation that Galaxy has allowed us all to tap into now if we want ourselves to tap into it. But tapping into it means we have to tap into ourselves and get really fucking raw and naked with that energy here. The Star card. Oh boy. Some of you need mentorship. You need a parental guiding hand, whether that is of a biological parent or someone of a higher astute. Some of you are searching for that. You're surrounded by mediocrity. Two of Wands. Five of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. All these cards, Jesus. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Nine of Cups. Yeah. Oh, man. The only disability that you bring to yourself is being absolutely exhausted, Sagittarius, right? I know that exhaustion had nothing to do with me just now, but you're just like overly, you're spent, all right? You're spent. You're like exhausted to the point of like, I can't even explain it. Because you're just too exhausted on that level. I can't. I'm trying to explain that to you would have you fall asleep. And that's exactly what we need. We need you to fall asleep, but I can't get you there because this is not isolated enough. You need to isolate the problem a bit more by finding your own reason as to why you're listening out to these messages. And if you do it in the same rhythm and tongue of the desire to walk in the spirits of ether, you can get there faster in realizing what it is that you need to look out for, hope for, wish for in order to keep attracting it and manifesting that for yourself. Someone's in the way of finances. There's like a disruption in a relationship of some kind. So this could be like money is causing a breakup of a home, different career paths, different life paths, different past trajectory at all. This is like, if this is a narrowed version of trying to figure out whether or not you are in a soulmate relationship, you are not. In this reading, you are not of a soulmate relationship. You are still in search of, in need of finding your own divinity or that partner in divinity. I just think I made that word up. I just completely made that word up. Yeah. 6 of Wands. Being victorious in that resurrection that needs to be taking place for you. Many ways it already has, Sagittarius. It's just the color. You're missing the color. It's very black and white right now. You have the reason, you have the logic, but processing those emotions and showing up with on either end with color is what you need to remember while you're passing through the birth canal of all possibilities at this time. Someone's waiting out for something, a longing of some kind, an answer, whether or not someone is going to choose them, make a choice in the matter with you involved. It's an emotional need, to be wary of how the universe is going to teach you that emotional desire. Because the wonders of the world doesn't, and the galaxy doesn't operate using the wisdom of emotions. For that, the world is too fucked up because of it. Four of Pentacles, protecting your journey with and without, so that you can go as within as without. don't like how sloppy you are in the finer details of your life, Sagittarius. There's certain crevices in your life, in the corners of your room, either literally or the mental capacity of where you roam in the mental space of that of which it is that you live in. It's a bit sloppy. All right, things are not very clean, they're not crisp. And there's an ego check needing to be involved with that lesson. But overall, you're victorious to reaching the potential of all the things that you want. Yeah, Two of Wands. You're fruitful enough in the experience of bringing so much light to the situation that any mistakes that you do, any life lessons as well that you reach from these situations, you do it with a degree of honor, which means that if anyone is even angry with you, they won't be for too long. And that's great, because there's nothing more wonderful than being in a problematic situation, it existing in the past, and feeling the outcomes of the present and be actually harmonious. Once you reach it to that level, that's when you know you have your shit figured out and you don't need anybody in a physical paradigm of dimensional expression to give you closure, because you'll be able to bring it to yourself. But that requires reflecting upon something and feeling absolutely nothing. Again, that's Virgo energy, the hermit energy of isolation that teaches you that. Because you go into isolation fearing it, and then you become out strong, loving the isolation. Loving the time and space that you had to take for yourself, to be with yourself, to learn of yourself. Two of Pentacles, the choices that come from being who you are. Wanting to bring life and breath and reason to your choices. Being satisfied with the choices that you make, even if sometimes they're illegitimate choices, I'm hearing. Illegitimate situations. You ultimately didn't want the immediate outcome, but overall you understand how that became the outcome of your choice. There's a lot of Virgo energy coming through here. A lot of Virgo dialogue I just heard about, like, cussing Virgo out, which I can totally understand. They're very opposite with you in the dynamic of bringing a conversation of emotions to the table. There's a lot of passion that can be found in the way that a Virgo can express themselves to you, Sagittarius, and you being completely enthralled by that, as well as you enthralling a Virgo because they secretly feel that they don't have that external energy that you show as a physical body representation of your energy. So the connection, if that rings a bell, and the 16 will ring a bell to someone, is the Temperance energy. Understanding the reasons why those choices, those situations, those dynamics, whether they ring a bell or not, whether they're real in one form or another, something of that needed to heal, something needed to penetrate through that reality to get you to the reason as to why one should never have obsessions. I think these two energies were very obsessed with one another, and they needed that last lesson of external obsession to understand that they should actually be returned to that self-obsession, because isolated, you share very much the same qualities as Virgo, Sagittarius. Virgo is obsessed with self-analyzations, isolation, because that it gives them a chance to be with themselves. They're obsessed with that. Where you're obsessed in taking your all selves and chiming yourselves in other selves, so that way you can push the limits of what you are, and based on the reaction, learn how you can become. So it's very yin yang, very potential for dynamic of that transaction to come in and compute itself and be victorious in the finances. However, that's why I also felt that some of your finances were disrupted in certain situations, because now the relationship isn't about the profits of money. It's about profits of paying attention to each other. And this is literally any dynamic, but that was very loud for a dynamic of love interest. At least having had slept with one another. There's someone here who has a background of a lot of traditional know-how of rituals. Themselves, however, have no business performing in the fucking rituals that they're performing, and that is a shout out to you, Sagittarius, whether you fucking like it or not. Someone's out there doing something, and the position that you are running your life, I don't see the point of what it is that you're doing. You're causing a bit more flame to the situation than need be. For that, you're already the flame. You don't need more. What are you doing? All right, lovers. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're learning the lessons of the 16 I gave a shout out to, which is that 7, and then there's another 7. All right, learning the choices of 2-2 energy, 2-2-2. If we're gonna honor the other earlier 2 of Wands energy, is understanding the overall lesson that the quantitative essence of you also has a jurisdiction of how you walk in the 3rd dimensional plane. And however you understand that message is however more you're going to be blasted with universal messages, mishaps, fortunes, lessons, epiphanies, whatever they are for you. They're going to be very loud for you, however they need to be loud for you for it. It's going to come in however ways that world can communicate with you. Whatever you already made yourself susceptible to. You can't escape either. Excuse me. You came from it, you shall return to it. Like I said, you cannot escape ether. You come from it, you shall return to it. As I saw 2209, as we see 22. What is 2 plus 2, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between? For more ways than one, it's that 22 that we're talking about, but it's also 4. And 4 is the power of owning up to 4 corners. I believe in this reading it said something about not having control of 4 corners of the mind. I'm not too sure. Maybe another energy is reading in the room because I'm doing these readings back to back. But it's about not losing control of self. Galaxy is Virgo energy. Virgo energy houses the light needed to get to the smallest part of your ego, to refine the shit out of it. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. That's a huge shout out for the beginning messages. And forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Again, another shout out to the beginning messages. It may interest someone to meditate and focus on these colors, on these cards, to help bring more light of consciousness of positive purity to those shadow aspects of selves that are hard to talk about, all right? They will assist you. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between and beyond, if you'd like any of my services from any type of tarot reading that you might be after or don't even know you're after, or a remote healing session, feel free to check out the description box below to get in contact with me. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.